Okay folks, welcome back. We're going to be looking at sine rule now. This is our video number 3. Let's write a bit more big and black. Okay. Welcome back. Yes, I can see myself clearly. Okay. Sine rule is used when we have a non-right angle triangle. Don't click it.
No.
You just did. So stop. Okay, let's get that down. When you have triangles which are not right angled, we use sine rule or the cosine rule. Today we're going to show you in which circumstance you use a sine rule, because that's a common question asked by me by many of my students is, so how do I know it's the sine rule? So we're going to go through that today. How do we know it's sine rule, number 1, and then number 2, how do we use the sine rule? Okay, here we go. So sine rule is used for non-right angled triangles. The sine rule itself looks like this. This here is the sine rule in its purest form. Okay, but when we can do our question, we won't need to use more than 2/3 of it. Okay, so when we can use a question, we won't need to use more than 2 parts of the identity. Now in this work, what do we have? When you've done trigonometry, we had 2 ticks and a cross. Anika, how many ticks do you reckon we're going to have in this one then? 3. Okay, so this one will rely on so now we're doing 3 ticks and a cross. Okay, so 3 items of information that we know and 1 item of information that we don't know. Okay, because if you look over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 pieces of information. To work out 1 piece of information, we've got to know everything apart from that one that we don't know. So if we know this, this and this, we can work out that. And similarly, if we know this, this and this, we can work out the A. Okay? So as now we're doing 3 ticks and a cross. Okay. Alright, let's draw a triangle. Okay, now when we label the triangle, the format, the style for labeling a triangle, we use capital letters to represent the angles, and we use small lowercase letters which are opposite the capital letters to represent the sides which correspond to the angle. So you have to understand we have angle A with this side A. These two form a pair. Okay, that makes a set of information. Okay, so these two are linked. This angle on this side is linked, and this angle here on that side is linked as well. We use a lowercase and smaller version of the letters for the sides, and the big letters, capital letters, for the angles. Okay. Now, I've labelled this A, B and C. When you're going to do your questions and they're giving you D, E and F or P, M and N, we have to relabel it in a way that helps us by using A's and B's. So we put our own labelling on top. Otherwise, their letters can confuse us in our question. Right. So let's have a look. Okay. So so in a question we say what do we know? So that is your general diagram. Let's put some values on there now. Okay. So we're going to go over the two different circumstances that we use sine rule. So if we know a side and its corresponding angle, I represent that normally by using, I call them dumbbells. So for example, I know angle A and I know little a. I connect them using dumbbells. So that means I know this, I know that. So it's a solid green, and I normally shade it in as well if I have a crayon to say that I know this complete set of information. Yes. That's it. That's it. Okay. Right. Sorry about that sudden movement of the camera. I think we got squirrels in the room. Okay. So if you know a side and its corresponding angle, and I represent that by dumbbells. Okay. So here I've actually shaded the dumbbells in. Okay. So we know a side and its corresponding angle. So we know one complete set of information. That's two of our ticks, by the way. That's two ticks done. Okay, what else do we know? Let's do a different color. So we also know another angle . Okay, so far how many things do we know? We know a side and its corresponding angles. We put those in green dumbbells and shade them in. We know that complete set of information in this particular question that we're going to do. And in the next question, we know the side, the angle, but we want to work out its corresponding side. So this dumbbell has a dotted part on this side, dotted circle, to indicate that's what we're interested in working out. Okay, so this is going to be the purple dumbbell. So looking at it theoretically, this is what we have. We have an angle, we have a side and its angle, we have another angle, and we want to work out side. So if we use this dumbbell arrangement, I have one complete dumbbell, all completely know the information, know this and know that. The next dumbbell, we know the angle, but we don't know that, so we dot it. So we know three pieces of information, yes, 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 three ticks, and we don't know that, four. So whenever we have this type of arrangement in a question, we use a sine rule. That's the first instance that we use sine rule. Okay, so that's the first instance. So we write down here, number one. That's the situation number one. Here's the second situation that we use sine rule in. If the question that you have doesn't fit situation 1 or 2, then it's cosine rule. Okay. Just checking everything's online, yeah. I've got some squirrels in the room. Okay, let's change color again. Or should we use blue? Right. Situation number 2. Similar a little bit. So we have a side and its corresponding angle. So the first part's the same. So we know the side and we know the angle. You join them up. And the next situation, what do we have? Okay. In the next situation we have, now we know the side for the second part of information, but we don't know his angle. So I'm now going to okay, so what do we know? Okay, I'm going to do that one for you in a bit. Situation okay, ladies, are we copying all that notes down on the board? Okay, we just right, I'm gonna move the camera, don't leave it actually. Go just over here. Okay. Okay, ladies, you got all that done? Right, so I know how much of the board I've got left to work on without having to move the camera from this rules over here. Right, let's just do a bit of a sectioning. Okay, we have not that much space. Let's do a question. Okay, the second diagram here I haven't drawn down for you. Let's do that now. Okay, the second diagram, let's put the dumbbells in there so we know a side and the angle. So let's keep it that one. So we know this and that. And the next one we have a side. Just say for example, little b, and we've got to work out the angle. There's a second dumbbell. So that's the diagram that corresponds to the second situation. Okay, let's quickly move on to a question. So that's our introduction to when we use sine rule. Let's follow it up with the question. Question number 1. Okay. Okay, right. Here we go. Sundar, have you been? Yeah, look at the board, please. So this question is on your second sheet, actually, not the first one. Okay, it's from the one that looks like this. No, this one. Right. But you just follow me for the moment on the board. That'll be better. Okay. In this question here, we have an angle and its side, the first pair of dumbbells. So we're going to circle them up. So we know this and we know this, and we're going to join them up. Say yes, we know those two pieces of information, complete set of information, an angle and its side. The next one, the next dumbbell we're going to do, we know the angle, different color. The next dumbbell we've got an angle and its corresponding side which we don't know. So this is prime question for sine rule. So we know this completely, and this set here, we know one part, we don't know one part. And if you look at it in terms of ticks and crosses, we have 1, 2, 3 ticks and a cross. So in this question here, we have 3 pieces of information that we know: side and its angle. We know another side, that's the 3 ticks, and we know the angle here, and we don't know each side. So we've got to work out the side today. Okay, as I said before, I like to relabel my triangles when we do trigonometry, sine rule, cosine rule, or Pythagoras. When we do, for example, Sokotowa, it's important that we relabel it, and so it matches an A and a B and a C. So it matches our formula here. So I'm going to use different colors now on top. Okay, let's go for a big A and a big B. Okay, then on the diagram I'll put them on myself, because I need to correspond values here to the formula here, the A over sine A and B over sine B, so they match. Okay, some of us are tired. Okay, right, A and B. Now, Sundars, what is this small a? Where is it? What's it on the diagram? If this is the big A, where's the small a, the side? Oh, lovely. So we know now that the extra trying to work out is the A. Okay, Nika, we've got the big B is the 25. Where's the little b?
5.
The 5, thank you. Okay, now, I haven't labelled the big C and the little c. Do we need the big C and little c? We don't need them. Why? Because I said to you before, when we're going to be using this formula here, we only ever use 2 parts of the formula at any one given time. So the big C and the little c, just extra clutter and extra labeling diagram. We don't need them at all. Unless we had another part of the question, we had to work that out as well. For this, A and B is fine. Okay, now let's write the formula first of all. Let's copy this formula over here in the same color. Okay, please try to use the dumbbell technology where you circle. Okay, so you don't need to go to the gym for these dumbbells, just do your maths. You know that set completely, that's it, that bit's missing. So let's look at our A and sine. What do we know here? A lot of people are tired actually. Very tired. Okay. Okay, right. Let's put some values in and do some rearranging. So if I want to work out the little a, Sundars, how do I get rid of all of this? What's it saying at the moment? Read this. This says a divide by sine a. Okay. So the opposite of dividing by sine a is multiply. Because we need to work out what the little a is. Start here. So that goes on that side, becomes a times. Yeah, opposite dividing is timesing. So now we have a is equal to b okay, first of all, ladies, can you look at that please carefully, Samir? So we had a divided by sine a, one a on its own, making a the subject. Yeah. I'll put a divide by sine a on the left hand side, means time by on the right hand side. Another way that we can look at it is called cross multiplying. The bottom goes to the top and ends up multiplying it. Are you happy with that, Sundars? Yeah. Nika? Yeah? Good. So we get this rearranged format of the original equation. All we need to do now is put the values in. So chuck them in. So the b value is, Samia, what is the little b value?
5.
5. Sundars, what is the big A value? The big A?
57.
57. Okay, Anika, what is the big B value?
25.
Okay, ladies, can you put all that into your calculators please now? Make sure you use the fraction button on the calculator. Don't do it manually like that question, then put the divide in. I want to see it as it is on the screen over here on the board. So use the fraction button, put the top on the top bit and the bottom on the bottom bit, and press and then tell me what we get for that. Okay, we got one answer come back through so far. 9.921 dp. So this is what you get?
Same.
Same. Anika? Same. Lovely. Okay, well, give me two dp. These are original 9.99223. Is it 2 2's in there? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's our original answer. And it goes on. So we're going to say A is equal to 9 point. Right, 2 SF or 1 dp. Whatever makes you happy. Okay. Ladies, you got that down?
Yep.
Because as soon as you get that down, I need to rub it off. Because I want to leave this part of the notes on. Okay, ladies, I need to rub this board down. And so, folks, if you're following this video at home on YouTube, please feel free to pause the video so you can copy, spend more time copying down, and rewind if you need to. Okay, we're moving on. This is our last example for this introduction, and then we're going to stop the video, and then we're going to go to questions. Okay. Right. How are we doing for timing? Good. Lovely for timing. Second question. Right. Let's have a look. Which one we will need to work out angle now. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Ladies, can you copy that question down, please? Yeah, we still got that. So this is example number 2. In this example, we're going to work out an angle. Okay, the first one worked out a side. Now, okay, what's the first thing that we do for when you do questions on trigonometry? We need to, so what do we do?
Label it.
Label the diagram. Okay, do we have to use their labeling or can we do our own? We do our own that will correspond to the formula. Okay, here the A that they gave us actually corresponds with the A that I'm going to put on there anyway. So I'll just put another big red A here just to emphasize. That is also my A as well. So it happens to match. That's my big A. Smia, where's my small A?
6.
So opposite that is the small one. Okay. Anika, where's my B?
47.
Big B, 47 degrees. Okay. So that's my little B.
8.
Okay, do we need to label the C?
No.
Not necessary at the moment. Okay, let's rewrite the formula for them. Okay, before we rewrite the formula, let's put the dumbbells on. What do we know completely? So which set of information do we know completely? Is it the A set or the B set?
A set.
Okay, we know the A set.
B set.
We know the B set completely. So I'm gonna put okay, solid green and a solid green circle. So we know that set of information completely, an angle and its side. Change color. We used purple last time. So we know this. Okay, and the next piece of information, Samir, what do we know? We know the side. And we want to work out the angle. So in that dumbbell, the purple dumbbell here, the A we don't know, so it's dotted. So in terms of ticks and crosses, we know little a, big B, little b, and we don't know big A. Here's our original formula. This formula comes from over here. Okay. Now, what we're trying to work out is actually at the bottom over here. We don't like working things down the bottom. So it involves a lot of movement of things. So what we're going to do now, we're going to turn both parts of this fraction upside down to get the sine A, the angle part to the top. That's just one step in terms of our rearrangement. Mathematically we can do that. If we turn this one upside down, we turn that one upside down. So let's do that first. Let's turn the fraction, this identity, upside down. So we should now have okay, this is the preferred way, this is my preferred way of working at the angles. Why? Because the angle you don't know, so where is it now? It's now at the top. And that's where things should be when you're trying to work things out. When you're trying to work something out, you don't want to be on the bottom. You need to be on the top, so when you do our rearrangement, our final part of our rearrangement, everything can go in the right place easier. So first of all, we flip the second fraction upside down. And now we're going to do the rest of our, let's do our ticks and crosses. Okay ladies, can we see here that we know all of this, and we know this one, and we know that one, yes? So out of all this 4 pieces of information, we know 3 pieces of information, we just don't know 1. That's the best situation to be in, because we can work out 1 from if we know 3. Right, we've turned the fraction upside down, got the A to the top. That's the first part of our rearrangement. We've got 2 more parts left. What are those? So we have to make this A the subject. So as I say to you in my earlier videos, when you look at the algebra videos, you'll find I emphasize the word read. Let's read this question. This question says the sine of A divided by A. But if you start at A, what's been done to A first? A has been applied by this function sine. So I'd say this is called the first action. Okay? And then, so first of all, A was applied by a function called sine, and then the whole lot was divided by A. So what's been done to the big A? 2 things. It's been sine of the A, the first thing that's been done, and then it's been divided by A. So 2 things have been done, and that's the order. Now, we need to rearrange these. Whenever we rearrange the equation, we always move which action first? Do we move the first action first or the last action first?
Last action.
Always move the last action first when we rearrange, when you're solving something. We start from the back, we reverse it. So, let's go for blue. So the opposite of divide by A is?
Times.
Okay, that's the first movement. So I'm going to go through this in steps, okay, so we don't get confused. So we're left with so we've done 2 types of rearrangement. We've turned both fractions upside down on both sides to keep equivalent. Now we've read the equation, starting with the A. A has been applied on by a sine function, then it's been divided by A. First action, second action. When we're going to solve, we move the second action first, which we've done. What's left to move now? So this?
Just the sine.
Just the sine. So sine, this function here, opposite of sine on the left will be, what will be on the right hand side? Same as what we've done in the trigonometry. Inverse sine, that's right. Same. So we now have okay. I hope you are all with me so far. Start the original formula, flip the formula upside down, okay, read the equation, what's left over, first action, second action, move the second action first, becomes a times, opposite of sin, of the sine function, becomes inverse sine, written as sin here, -1, of the whole lot, okay. Remember the inverse sine function applies to everything on the right hand side, So the opposite sign on the left hand side is to the inverse sign of the right hand side. That's what we're doing here. So those big rectangular brackets there, yeah, that there, therefore, to say it's going to be all of it. What we need to do now, the last stage, is just put the numbers in there, ready to do the answer. So let's change colour once more. So our big A is equal to sine to the minus 1. Okay, and sine of minus 1. Let's put the values. What's little a?
6.
Little a is 6. Samir, what's big B?
47.
Okay, Nika, what's little b?
8.
8. Okay, ladies, put that to your calculator. As you see it here, you shift sine minus 1 brackets and then put the fraction button in to get the things on the different levels. Please make sure you use the calculators properly, folks, very important. Okay, so this is what we're getting at the moment. You got any values?
33.26.
So A is equal, let's make sure that part of the video is actually on the screen. Yeah, we just need to run out of board. A is equal to 30.
33.26.
Again, the rest of it.
That's 521.
That's the first part of this answer. So the final answer is going to be A is equal to 33. Okay, I wrote the answer up here just in case as well. Okay, folks, now I'm going to get you ladies to do some questions. Okay, we need to improve the quality of this video for next time to get the questions actually into the video as well. I think that's at the moment. For those students who are going to try this on YouTube, I will take measures to digitize the questions and you can download them. And they should hopefully be later on available from a link on my website, which is www.one-to-one-tutor.co.uk. Otherwise, if you're not one of my students in my class, they will forward you the work by an email attachment. Okay, folks. Well, that's the end of our introduction to sine rule. Go through the formula, 3 ticks and a cross, two different situations when you use it, and this is the second example of when you work your angle. Okay, folks, I hope you have fun doing the questions. And ladies, I want you to do the following questions. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, ladies, can we try question, please? 1D. That gives you a side. And can we try question? This one here. 2B. Question that one and that one, please. For the girls in the class, please try those 2 questions now, and then we're going to round up the lesson, and then we'll see you next week. Hopefully we can go on to cosine rule. Okay, okay folks, please join us again next week for the next videos. Thank you, hope you benefit from this.